Oh, good, you're up. Tell me, do you instinctively know when the sun has gone down, or is your sleep cycle just lined up correctly? Calm down. Even with your strength, you won't be getting out of that room. Or through the glass. It's quite reinforced. Now, where was I? If you don't stop, I'll have to make you. And you wouldn't want that. You have the good sense to fear sunlight, don't you? You're right, I wouldn't. You're far too valuable of a specimen. But there are lights in there that mimic sunlight quite well. It's not enough to kill you, obviously, but it will put you in terrible pain. There we go. Nice and quiet. Now, to answer your questions. You're currently in my, let's just say my study. I brought you here in an effort to learn more about vampires. Everything I can, really. Biology, anatomy, psychology, culture. You're a fairly unknown species and one that hides itself frustratingly well. So many mysteries pretending they don't exist. You know, I did try to ask politely, but it seems vampires are unwilling to give up their secrets. The scientist in me disagrees with such practice. A world of knowledge I can't access because some high-up bloodsuckers declared it so? I would never allow that. Well, I wouldn't really call myself a scientist. That implies I have credentials. A researcher? Maybe. An overly curious fool, perhaps? Your kind have called me that more than once. At the very least, I'm not going about this willy-nilly. I've got experience with a scalpel. Hard to say. Although, would it be dissection or vivisection? Seeing as you're undead. But you still behave much like a living being, so... The distinction matters to me because the few times I've seen a vampire killed, they crumble to dust instantly. So even if you were completely dead, there'd be nothing for me to dissect. Ashes tell me very little. Relax. I'm not in the business of torture. I think observing you will tell me a lot. And if you answer my questions honestly, then I think that would be enough for me. I'll let you go when I see fit to. And don't get your hopes up. I already have methods to keep you from killing me the second I set you free. I will say, you were easier to capture than I expected. None of the other vampires I've encountered actually slept in a coffin, to my knowledge. Probably because it's too simple to just tape closed and carry off. At least with assistance. Vampires are supposed to sleep in coffins. From my research, that doesn't seem to be the case. And I'd imagine obtaining a coffin isn't the easiest thing in the world either, given the expense of funerals. So why do you say that? Does it help you sleep better? Or give you more strength? Movies. Do you know any other vampires? No, wait, that would be impossible. You had to be turned by one. The one who turned you disappeared. Well, at least no one will be looking for you. And when were you turned? Then I suppose we'll be discovering how you work together. Isn't that exciting? It is for me. A bit more of an unbiased perspective of vampirism. But also uneducated. I'd bet I know more about vampires than you do right now. Now that's something I'm not sure on. You'd think that once you've identified a vampire, it would be easy to find out if garlic negatively affects them or not, but... Why don't you tell me? Are you sure? Never went back to your favorite Italian place and got a nasty shock? You really can't tell me. I think I can mark it down as a solid no if you're asking me to order garlic bread for you. Could you at least try to take this seriously? I suppose I could make arrangements if you cooperate well enough. But that brings me to the topic of food. I've never seen a vampire eat recreationally. Food, that is. The most I've seen is consuming it in order to blend in with humans. So, I'm wondering, is consuming food any different for you than when you were human? You don't get hungry. I suppose it must lose its appeal over time if you don't benefit from it. But that is just anecdotal evidence from my observations. Of course, that was never in question. Vampires drink blood. I didn't need to watch any films to know that. I have a multitude of questions to ask regarding that, though. How much you need to drink, how often, is there a preference on blood type, how are you obtaining it? Let's just start with how much you need. Then, how do you feel after drinking whatever amount you do drink? You haven't drank any blood yet. None at all? Well, that might explain why you didn't wake up while being carried off in a coffin. You're not getting off that easy. This is still a golden opportunity. Here, I've prepared a snack for you. I won't go into detail on how long it took me to alter this room for you. I've been planning this for quite a time. Obviously, I knew I would need a way to feed you without getting a limb ripped off. That blood is mine, actually. There are other ways to get human blood, as I have seen vampires strike secretive deals for blood bags and such, but I figured as a human myself, I can provide for you. So drink up. What? You're a vampire. This is what you live for. I didn't bring you here to study the effects of blood starvation. But then again, if you force my hand... Finally. So, how is it? Is there any sort of sensation that comes with consuming? It's delicious. I'll make a note. Now... More. I didn't draw any more. Later I can... Oh my. Tell you what. You describe what it was like to drink my blood in excruciating detail, and I'll go draw some more for you. Sound fair? Note, my specimen may not be as pure and unbiased after drinking my apparently good-tasting blood, but I'll still take what I can get. I suppose we can skip the order of garlic bread then? Now, tell me everything I want to know. Trancoon, please.